Hi guys, so I have had a few requests lately for a makeup tutorial. So I'm about to do my makeup now. So I thought why not just film it as we go, and I could maybe just drop a few little tips and you could see how I do my makeup, and maybe you learn something and maybe you think that's absolutely terrible. So I just have to put a little disclaimer here right now. Yes, I did study makeup professionally many, many moons ago. However, today I do not follow current makeup trends. I do not have the latest products and fancy brushes. A lot of my techniques might still be old school and out of date, but I do what I like on myself and what I find works for me, that I like what I see when I look in the mirror. So, as I said, you might watch this tutorial and go, oh my God, what the hell is this woman doing? And maybe you'll learn a neat little trick or find something that you haven't tried before. But as I said, obviously there are a lot of new styles and techniques of makeup applications out there. By all means, go and research those and follow all the latest makeup gurus out there. This is, as I said, this is not my daily makeup anymore. My makeup has become a bit lighter over the years, so this is a slightly heavier application. I'm shooting a little video shortly, so yeah, I'll be going a little heavier on the contouring, etc., but I will be sure to focus on the winged eyeliner, as I know that's what most people have been asking about. So here we go. So I did have a question with regards to the products that I use. Again, I don't use expensive products. I buy drugstore brands, and I'm also trying to find brands and products now that are not tested on animals. So brands that I'm currently kind of playing around with and trying to find, like my go-to favorite products within those ranges would be Revolution, NYX, Wet n Wild, Catrice, and yeah, that's about it. I'm struggling to find the one product that I've really just not found that perfect replacement for yet is my foundation. For many years I have lovingly used a Max Factor liquid foundation that just was absolutely perfect. The color was spot on, the coverage was spot on, the finish was beautiful, and I've just not been able to find a replacement. I currently have the Catrice product, but although the coverage is good and the color is fine, it's mattifying, and I like to have a dewy finish. So I'm not 100% sold on this, so I'm still hunting for my favorite foundation, my new favorite foundation. I do struggle with color. I've got quite a yellow undertone, so I do struggle to find foundations that have the right color match.
I can't forget the day we met. Your eyes so blue, me pressing through. I can't forget the day we met. Your smile so bright, it made me swoon. Our love is like a summer's day, hot and endless in a magic way. Whenever I see you, all I can think is my summer love. Been waiting for you, my love. My summer love. Been waiting for you, my love.
I do also like to go onto my ears. Make sure everything matches. Just remember when you're washing your face to wash your ears as well. Then I have, again, I couldn't find the flippin' right colors the last time. Every time I go to Clicks, they're kind of out of stock of certain numbers. So I kind of had to make do with the closest to the shades I normally have. So these are just Revolution little liquid concealers. So here we go.
My summer love, been waiting for you, my love. I can't forget the day we met. You looked so fly in your red Corvette. Your hair, your look, your everything. When I see it all, I knew that you were mine. I'm in love with you.
So it isn't quite dark enough. But it just starts off adding some dimension back into your face, seeing as you've kind of flattened that all out with your one color foundation. So I like that this kind of gives a more natural definition back to your face, and then I use powders to go in and really contour where I want to.
With my love you won't ever be alone, my summer love. Been waiting for you, my love. Completely a fool. Been waiting for you, my love. Head over heels, I'm blinded by what I feel. My love is forever yours.
Continue with the next stage of the face, which is contouring my cheekbones. Again, I like, they used to be a lot more prominent and sharper a few years ago, so I need to work a little harder on bringing them out. But again, this is something that I've been doing since college days, this little three-part contour blusher kind of technique. So I like to start off with a lighter neutral color, which I kind of focus kind of around the cheekbone area, and then I will go in with my darker crease to really lift and define, and then obviously the highlighter from above to kind of create that nice three-dimensional look to the cheek. Okay, so if I was just having a more natural day, if I was just going out locally, going to work, this might be the only step I do, and then just adding some color to the actual apples of my cheeks. But I'm going to go a little more defined, shall we say, this time around. And you'll see often if I feel that something is too harsh or too streaky, I will go back in with a previous product use. I will go back in with my foundation on a sponge or something and just blend it back together. That's, I think, the most important thing you can ever know about makeup, is just blending it to make it look seamless.
You have my heart, you have my soul, you have my whole, you have my control. Love me tender, love me sweet, with you I know that I'm complete. I'm in love with the summer's day, for you I'd give my life away. Never leave me, never let me go, my summer love. Been waiting for you, my love. My summer love, been waiting for you, my love.
Obviously the highlighter, this is also a very old Benefit product I literally found at the bottom of an old makeup bag. So I decided to just start.
For you, my love is forever yours. Forever yours, my love is forever yours.
Okay, so my brows are microbladed, although they are in desperate need of a touch-up. So eyebrows for me are a big deal, okay? And my eyebrows haven't always had as full of a shape naturally until I did microblading. So I've always filled my brows, and even though now I'm much more comfortable now that my brows are microbladed, even though, as I said, they are in desperate need of some touching up, they're still good enough that on a day when I'm going makeup free or just very, very low key makeup, I would go with my natural brows. However, I find that once I start doing the contouring and the eyeliner and heavy mascara, etc., the brows still look slightly washed out, so I will always go in and define them a little more. So this is one of those magic products that I swear by. It's the Benefit Ka-Brow. Now this lasts literally, I think, my first little pot, and I'm a heavy user. Again, this is something I use practically every day. My first pot lasted me about 2 years, and this is now my second pot. So yeah, Now again, brows are a very personal thing. Again, there are so many techniques these days. There's your more natural, fluffy brows using looser brush strokes. I'm kind of still somewhere in between, like the very old school, very structured, drawn on brow versus the modern, more natural brow. I try and kind of put myself somewhere in between. So yes, don't necessarily stick to my technique. Do what works for you.
I can't forget the day we met. Your eyes so blue, me piercing through. I can't forget the day we met. Your smile so bright, it made me swoon. Our love is like a summer's day, hot and endless in a magic way. Whenever I see you, all I can think is my summer love. Been waiting for you, my love. My summer love. Been waiting for you, my love. I can't forget the day we met. You looked so fly in your red Corvette. Your hair, your look, your everything. When I see it all, I knew that you were mine. I'm in love with your hair, your lips, your silhouette in the moonlight shine. With my love, you won't ever be alone. My summer love, been waiting for you, my love. Completely a fool, been waiting for you, my love. Head over heels, I'm blinded by what I feel. My love is forever yours.
Righto, now we are onto the all-important eyeliner stage. So another disclaimer here. I don't wear as much eyeliner as I used to. I used to religiously do winged liner every single day of my life for many, many, many years. In the last year, it's something that is mainly very much phased out of the daily makeup routine. I'm more comfortable with my own skin, also time constraints, and just finding that I've got other more pressing and important things than focusing on my makeup too much. So I do feel a little rusty on this. Also, product wise, I do swear by an old school like felt tip liquid liner. My absolute favorite was the Michelle Ori. I don't seem to see it anymore. I don't know if it's still available in South Africa. I'm trying out this Revolution one at the moment, which seems to be, I don't know, it's like somewhere between a Kokie and a old school liquid liner. I hate those Kokies. They always dry up when you hold it at the angle that you need it to be at. But if you are someone, obviously you have to be very careful about bleeding when you are using a liquid liner. If that is a concern for you, if you have watery, teary eyes, if you struggle with fluttering eyelash, fluttering lids, if you can't keep your eyes closed long enough for the product to dry, then look at a gel liner, something similar to the brow gel that we used earlier. Don't ask me about brands, look it up. Then, okay, let's get into some tips to start off with to get that perfect flicked wingtip. Tip number 1, do not follow the angle of your upper lid when drawing that line. When your eyelid is closed, when your eyelid is closed, your upper lash, your upper lid and your upper lash line looks like it is angling upward. However, the moment you open your eye, that upper lash line tilts downwards. So instead of getting a beautiful turned up flick, you're going to get a very droopy, sad looking flick. So the trick is actually when you're pulling your liner out past the outer corner of your eye, the tip is to actually follow the angle of the lower lash line that moves upwards to the corner of your brow. Secondly, don't try and do it all in one. You will see it's many, many little stages and flicks. So I tend to complete the area on top of my lid first on both sides. And then another tip is start with the side that you struggle with the most. So I know I tend to get my right eye pretty good pretty easily, and this is always the wonky bugger that kind of has to play catch up. So start with this one first, and then you can work on your stronger side to match it up.
You have my heart, you have my soul, you have my whole, you have my control. Love me tender, love me sweet, with you I know that I'm complete. I'm in love with the summer's day, for you I'd give my life away. Never leave me, never let me go.
Now comes the tricky part. So give yourself a little marking. See what I mean? Skinny, chunky markings. So that's going to become the start of my wing. So now it's kind of like playing connect the dots. Now you want to connect that outer edge, sorry, very blurry. You want to connect the outer edge there with where the line stops on your lid. So you're going to create a little triangle. See? And then you're just going to color it in. Okay, and from there, you can now start playing around, neatening it up.
I can't forget the day we met. Your eyes so blue, me pressing through. I can't forget the day we met. Your smile so bright, it made me swoon. Our love is like a summer's day, hot and endless in a magic way. Whenever I see you, all I can think is my summer love. Been waiting for you, my love. My summer love. Been waiting for you, my love. I can't forget the day we met. You looked so fly in your red Corvette. Your hair, your look, your everything. When I see it all, I knew that you were mine. I'm in love with your hair, your lips, your silhouette in the moonlight shine. With my love, you won't ever be alone, my summer love.
I would often at this stage just take a big powder brush without any product on and just buff out the color a little.
My summer love, been waiting for you, my love. Completely a fool, been waiting for you, my love.
Always start with a lip liner. But another thing that I always do, I don't just line my lips with a liner, I fully color in my lips with a liner. I find that gives a better hold to the product I'm putting on over it. It lasts longer. And even when your lipstick starts to come off from eating or whatever the case may be, you've actually still got a bit of color stain to your lips.
Head over heels, I'm blinded by what I feel. My love is forever yours. You have my heart, you have my soul, you have my whole, you have...
Okay, now time to paint. So as far as lipsticks are concerned, I'm obsessed with the Manic Panic Lethal lipsticks. Although they are not classified as long wear lipsticks, the formula is amazing. It really is a long wearing lipstick. I can put this on and kind of not need to touch up during the day. It feels really soft and comfortable on the lips. It is beautifully opaque. My favorite one is really empty. So, scraping out the bottom of the barrel.
You have my heart, you have my soul, you have my whole, you have my control. Love me tender, love me sweet, with you I know that I'm complete. I'm in love with the summer's day, for you I'd give my life away. Never leave me, never let me go, my summer love, be waiting for you, my love. My summer love, be waiting for you, my love is forever yours.
Then last, but definitely not least, my absolute new favorite is a makeup fixative, but one that is also hydrating. So the one I'm currently using is a Revolution Hyaluronic Fix. So it's hydrating and plumping makeup fixative. And I also love these. I will just spray this throughout the day just to kind of refresh my face. I love the feeling. Oh, and just one last little tip. When you have your skin looking all fresh and smooth, we often forget about the décolletage. You might have now slightly altered the color of the face with your foundation. Obviously, also everything now looks much smoother and fresher. So make sure to pull some product down onto the décolletage as well. So just a little drop. Again, not heavy. This is just for a slight match-up, just to help smooth out any blemishes and to color correct, just to make sure that from there to there you are picture perfect. So there we go. Finally ready to face the world.